Hello, everyone. I'm Shane Shadows, and welcome once again to Shane Shadows Presents Classic Indies, some of the great independent wrestling from the tri state area and in some cases beyond over the course of the last 35 years. Today is April 22nd, and we are 3 days past the anniversary of the very first CPW event ever held, which this would be the 25-year anniversary of this great event that we had at the Berkeley County Youth Fairgrounds in Martinsburg, West Virginia. And I thought it would be a lot of fun to take a trip down memory lane here and bring you the main event from that great card of wrestling that we had, as two former Intercontinental Champions and future WWE Hall of Famers lock horns one more time. Two great legendary rivals. Tito Santana takes on Greg the Hammer Valentine. Let's go to the match now. As you can see, a strong turnout for the first night of Championship Pro Wrestling. We had to overcome a lot of obstacles to get to this point to sell these tickets, but the people are on their feet. They're at a fever pitch. They've had a great evening of wrestling with some very good, exciting talent from all over the East Coast. And now it's main event time. Getting his proper respect on the way to the ring, despite how the fans may feel about his tactics. He was a legendary wrestling figure from a legendary wrestling family. And here you see him on the right-hand part of your screen entering the ring. Greg the Hammer Valentine, black sequined robe, long blonde hair, 100% ready for action. Down at ringside, you see the world's most dangerous wrestling photographer, Tim Walker. Your referee is Rick Weed. Jay Young, the former WEPM AM radio in Martinsburg, the former the head of broadcasting for that AM station, is our ring announcer. We did do a for a number of years, about 2 years. I did a Tuesday night talk show with him, and that was a great boon for us to be able to get on the radio and publicize this event and the in the aftermath of my departure from the other local wrestling promotion, the NWL. They were running a card in Boonesboro, Maryland, which is about 25 minutes away. So there was a lot of competition here for ticket sales. And as you can see, we did quite well on this night as Tito Santana, ladies and gentlemen, has entered the ring. These two had a legendary feud, headlining feud over the Intercontinental title throughout 1984 and 1985 as Valentine injured Tito and won the title, and Tito famously won the title back inside the steel cage just only about an hour and 20 minutes up the road from where this match took place in Baltimore, Maryland. Valentine taking his time, getting his robe off and getting ready. Valentine was never in a rush. It was not his style to rush through anything. I can proudly say I am very proud of this event. The turnout was super strong. This was the first event that I promoted on my own. Of course, my financial backing came from my father, who is by no means a wrestling fan and is without a doubt not watching this broadcast. But just a very special kudos to my mom and dad for standing behind me in this endeavor when they very easily could have told me, well, Shane, you're going to have to figure this out on your own. And look at the lockup here. Look at the struggle between these two old warriors. Valentine getting the advantage here, pushing him into the ropes. And a clean break by the Hammer. I wasn't so sure that was going to happen. I personally haven't watched this match in years. I got the recording started, as I often do on these old tapes to DVDs that I bring here every week on Shane Shadows Presents, but I walk away from it and I just listen for the responses or for the tape to run out. I like to call these matches as I see them, as opposed to trying to memorize them and say, oh, this is coming and that's coming, watch for this, wait for that. It helps maintain my enthusiasm and interest in the match, and I hope it helps yours as well. We've had a great day of recording here at the studio. This is the 6th or 7th match we've watched today of various varieties, not only for my show, Shane Shatters Presents, but for the Independent Rewind as well. Tito going for a single leg as Valentine goes for a hammerlock, or headlock rather, and they get into the ropes. You're not going to see a lot of a spectacular flash and such from these two guys. These guys were two classic wrestlers. Santana with that explosive punches and the flying forearm, of course. Both of them practitioners of the figure four leg lock. Valentine more dominantly, but Tito did in fact start to use the figure four leg lock as a weapon against Greg during their legendary feud over the Intercontinental title. Valentine trying to grab a single leg there. Tito ended up with a front face lock instead. I think they're getting pushed towards the ropes, and yes, the referee's putting the count on them. A little bit of a retreat by Valentine there, trying to keep himself out of the danger zone as Santana regained his footing. Back to the vertical base, Santana with a headlock. And a reverse into a hammer, so to speak. Pardon the pun. But watch that elbow, Tito. Valentine's vicious with those elbows. 5 or 6 years after this match took place, I wrestled Greg Valentine in this exact building. And what I cannot explain to you. Words cannot explain what a hard-hitting competitor he was, even in his older years. Valentine was not. We get a little closer, tighter screenshots here. That's good. I like to see the up-close action. Oh! Trying to break that arm. No love lost between these two, as I mentioned. Longtime rivals on the biggest stages, and continued that rivalry down through the independents. Both are still active. Less so than ever. I mean, at least they were before the pandemic broke out. And Valentine getting to the ropes here. We hope you've enjoyed what we brought you here on Season 2 of Shane Shatters Presents. Trying to stick with our usual format, trying to keep the memories and the history of independent wrestling throughout this area alive. Trying to bring some variety of matches. We like to do the wild card week and so forth like that, where we don't know what we're looking at, and then we try to bring special occasion matches like this one. To me, 25 years anniversary of this big match, the first event that I ever personally promoted, began a tremendous run for me throughout the area, promoting events with not only on my own and buildings like the fairgrounds, but doing special events with fairs and festivals and so forth as well. Referee out in front here asking Tito if he wants to surrender to this top wrist lock. Tito fighting up though. Fighting back. Oh, a handful of hair, and Valentine takes him down. Maintaining that advantage. This is without a doubt the match everyone here on hand came to see. I mean, we definitely had a wide variety of talent on the card. A lot of the guys who were originally scheduled on the card, due to the political difficulties that I was having with Dick Kirchhoff and Rambo at the time. Of course, they're running a rival show across town. A lot of the guys tried to go with the established promotion just because they didn't know how this might turn out. As it turns out, we did tremendously well, and I think from what I've gathered, and I've seen the tapes and such, their event was overall, from a attendance standpoint, a bit of a disappointment. And we were very happy with what we had on hand, and we were trying to build off of it from there. Wrenching that arm up is Valentine, trying to take it home with him, as they say. Tito's in a lot of trouble here. Well, somebody in the crowd didn't appreciate the methodical methods of Greg Valentine and voiced it, but I think he's definitely in the minority. Tito backing Valentine into the corner here. Referee breaks him up, but Tito's going to favor that arm now. Kind of a unique strategy for Valentine. You know, generally likes to go to the legs, but possibly the strategy here is to weaken that arm and get the guy blocking the... Oh, a vicious elbow to the back of the neck on Tito. Get him favoring that arm, and then he can go the attack on the leg. Now, Valentine's taking it to the floor. Look out. Oh, a clubbing elbow across the throat. And another one. Valentine not afraid to mix it up at all. His father, legendary Johnny Valentine, one of the most rugged, vicious, and cruel wrestlers in the history of the sport. Tito really looking the worse for wear here. I can't really explain it. I mean, in any other way, maybe he was just having a bad evening. I remember because I had to arrange their flights and so forth. Tito only flew in from New York. Valentine was coming from Florida. He lived in the Tampa area for years. But Valentine, as I recall, showed up the building earlier. He seemed a little bit more lucid, maybe a little bit more loose. It may have had something to do with the drinks he had on the way in the car. As you may recall, Gino Sammartino could almost certainly attest to that particular car ride. Maybe he'll speak to it one day. But Valentine was ready. As you can see in this match, he has absolutely dominated Santana from the beginning. 25 years ago, April 19th, 1997, the first main event of the very first CPW event, Championship Pro Wrestling. And he's wrenching that leg across the middle rope here now, and Rick Weed is trying to get in there and get the hammer off. Not literally, but trying to get him off of Santana. He just will not let go of that leg here now. He is just trying to basically rip Tito apart, going off the theory that a three-legged table will not stand. And Tito is gimping and limping now and trying to retreat to another corner. Valentine is like a vulture, just stalking him and stalking him. Tito's got his hands up, though. Elbow. No, he's going back to that shoulder. He got a bad leg and he's got a bad arm, got a bad wing. And, oh, there's a shot. And Tito's firing back now. And another. Now he's got Valentine reeling. Staggered. Tito, one of the best punches in the wrestling industry. Hopping on one leg, but firing in right hands. And a left. And a left jab. Valentine off the ropes. Blocked. And another right. Look at Tito. Fighting like his match and life depend on it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uh-oh. Valentine face first. Face first into the mat. Where did Tito find it? Where did Tito find the effort? And now he's got him spread eagle and ready. Oh, that hurts. I don't care who you are. I don't care how solid you've done your sit-ups and all your exercises. That hurts. Oh, and Valentine just returned the favor with a questionable shot, and now he's regained his advantage. Scooped leg. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it now. The figure four leg lock, and Tito desperately trying to fight it off, trying to block it. Oh, and he stuck a right hand in there. And Valentine again face first. Irish whip of the hammer. Tito goes to the breadbasket again. And a knee. A clipping knee across the face of the hammer. Now Tito's got that leg. Tito's got that leg, and oh, wishbone. Doing the wishbone split, and another right. Valentine came out of the ring with knots on his head from the punches administered by Tito. And Tito with a step over toe hold here. Both of these men will fight and will use the leg holds to their advantage. And Tito has it now as the fans continue. Oh! Did he rake his eyes? I think he may have raked his eyes there to get an advantage. Valentine's fighting for everything he's got too. Both of these two brave old warriors battling it out, tooth and nail. Their rivalry will not end here. Oh, there's a wishbone split. Ouch. And a cover by Hammer, and a 2, and Tito out the back door. In addition to being an outstanding pro wrestler, Tito Santana was a standout college football player at what is currently known as Texas Tech University, formerly known as West Texas State, where so many great professional wrestlers played ball. Tully Blanchard, Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody, The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Dorian Terry Funk, Dick Murdoch, Barry Windham, and others, all out of that Amarillo area. And Valentine drops an elbow on the head and then goes back to that wrenching, punishing chin lock. Referee's done a very good job of staying out in front and asking these two competitors if they're willing to surrender. Not that either one of them were gonna. Not in this situation, not whatsoever. Checking the arm on Santana. It's dropped twice, 3 times. It's going to call the match, but Tito stays in it. And the capacity crowd roars its approval, now trying to get behind Tito to bring him up and bring him the victory. And a vicious elbow, and another one to the midriff of the Hammer, off the ropes, big clothesline by Greg. And a cover, trying to catch it quick, Tito out with 1. And Valentine's getting frustrated here, you can see it. Unloads another big elbow to the back of the neck and head, and Tito slowly crumbles, and a cover again, 2 count, and Greg once again not able to get Tito to surrender the fall. He's going to wrap it up. He's going for the figure 4 here. One more time. Oh, no. Oh, hard into the buckle. Tito pushed him off. And that one staggered Greg. And Greg's down. Now Tito is going to the figure 4. Wow. Look at the crowd. Listen to the crowd. Come to their feet. "100% behind Santana here. And Valentine, in desperate pain, trying to reverse the hold, trying to push his way out of the hold. He's grabbed the rope. He's grabbed the rope, and the referee's forcing Santana to break it. Literally in there trying to untangle the two of these two legends. Untangle the hold here. As Valentine pulling on the ropes. Santana grabbing the foot, trying to pull him back out to the middle. The referee interfering and interceding that as Greg tries to regain his own balance in the corner. Oh, he caught him with a cheap shot, it looked like, to the throat. Oh, Valentine. Feet on the ropes. The referee. Is that the fall? Oh, Valentine thinks he's got it. Was that it? Apparently not. No, he caught him on the ropes. Santana from behind. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Santana grabbed one. Absolutely. Wow. And the crowd is on their feet. They've seen a tremendous main event, and they're on their way for the exits. Wow. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, to recap the first ever main event of the first ever championship pro wrestling event in Martinsburg. It was 25 years ago, a few days back, and it's just been a tremendous run of success. We've had our failures. But independent wrestling promoting is usually a labor of love, and it's something that I've loved, just like I've loved bringing you these matches here on the weekly basis. So Santana pins Greg Valentine in a hard-fought battle in the first main event of the first CPW event. That does it for this week. I'm Shane Shadows, and thank you for your continued support of Shane Shadows Presents Classic Indies. We'll see you next time.